Last weekend, I was visiting a Catholic church with some of my friends. And while we were walking around the church, one of my friends pointed to a painting and said, "Hey, Wesley, that painting of Jesus looks a lot like you." Naturally, I was a little flattered. So we walked over and began looking at the painting. And immediately, I got sucked into the painting. Not because I looked like Jesus, but rather because all these small little details in that painting started popping out to me and my friends. And it just started sucking us in to this piece of art. And I wanted to share a little bit of that artwork with you guys today. So here's the painting. I'll let you decide if I look like Jesus or not. At first glance, this is a painting of Jesus as a carpenter. Just casually chopping it up with an angel. Notice how the angel is just sitting on the wood that Jesus is working on. And while that could be kind of annoying for Jesus, it could also be really profound, because I think this angel is meant to convey that Jesus found divine inspiration in his menial work. Whomever this artist was, they wanted to convey to us that perhaps Jesus had a divine encounter in his quotidian work during the years before his ministry began. So on a surface level, this painting is a meditation on what Jesus' day-to-day life was like when he was a carpenter, before he started his ministry. And the message seems to be that part of imitating Jesus is meeting with God in your mundane, day-to-day chores. But there's so much more to this painting. For instance, did you catch the 5 hidden faces in this painting? That's right, there's a couple cleverly hidden faces here, 5 to be exact. I'll give you a few seconds to try to find all of them. Okay, so first there's the other angel in the window in the back of the room looking in on this whole scene. It's almost like this simple project that Jesus is working on is so important that it is attracting multiple spiritual forces who are gazing in on this simple woodworking project. In other words, Jesus' menial work attracted the divine. It was so important that angels were peeking in on it just to see how it was going. And perhaps the same could be said of our menial labor. That's one face down. There's 3 more creepy faces in the opposite corner of the painting. These are honestly really weird. I still can't tell if they're supposed to be children's spirits or some demons from Sinister. If these are children, then that would seem to convey a message that play needs to be deeply integrated in work. That there needs to be a childlike spirit in your day-to-day work and projects, because in the room with Jesus and his work is the threefold spirit of a child. And that brings me to the woman behind Jesus. She's not one of the hidden faces, and she looks like a normal human. She probably is not an angel. Perhaps she's Jesus' mother, Mary. She is not only holding a basket of bread, she is angling it toward Jesus, like she is offering Jesus bread. Now, why would she be offering Jesus bread? I think it's because when you do your daily work, God gives you your daily bread. When you are actively laboring, it will open up the doors for you to be provided for. This artist then might say that the prayer, "Give us this day our daily bread," is not for freeloaders. This also might explain the apple on the other end of the table. Jesus' work offers fruit on the other side of his divine encounter. If one is willing to see the divine in their work, then there will be fruit on the other side of their daily chores. Okay, so did you catch the 5th face? This one is a bit harder to spot. I'll help you out. There's a hand behind Jesus' head. Follow that hand back to its source, and you'll see God the Father's face hidden in plain sight right behind Jesus' head. In fact, Jesus' face is surrounded by symbols. There's the outline of an ephemeral dove flying toward Jesus and a halo above the head of Jesus. The dove symbolizes the Holy Spirit and the halo symbolizes a crown. So surrounding Jesus' head is a dove, a sacred crown, and God the Father, who, by the way, is extending his arms over Jesus. It's like he's about to give Jesus a really big hug. So the Holy Spirit is alighting on Jesus like a dove, again, when he's working. In other words, Jesus is being anointed by the Spirit to do this simple woodworking project. He's also being wrapped in the embrace of the Father's love. This tells me that the Spirit sets us apart for even the most quotidian and mundane chores. And also that even in the simple everyday chores, God's love never leaves us. God is constantly wrapping his arms around us. It never leaves us. And very beautifully, God's loving embrace is probably the hardest thing to see in this painting. Just like in real life, God just may be wrapping his arms around you in love if you have eyes to see it. Thanks for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed this art rant as much as I did. And if you had any other interpretations on this artwork or spotted anything I missed, feel free to comment about it below. I'll see you all next time.